Okay, so this one says you have a money jar containing nickels and quarters worth $1.55. The money jar contains 11 coins. How many of each coin do you have? Okay, so we're not going to sit here and try to guess and check and figure it out some long, crazy way. We're going to set up two equations to help us with this, okay? So remember, an equation has to equal something, okay? So you're going to have two equations and they both have to equal something. All right? So think about when you're working these word problems, think about what are my two equations going to equal, okay? So we have two variables here. What are the two variables? Well, it says I have a money jar containing what? Nickels and quarters, okay? Worth how much? $1.55. So think about what one of your equations will equal, okay? Then it says the money jar contains 11 coins. So think about what your other equation is going to equal, okay? So we have our two variables, nickels and quarters. So I'm going to say I'm going to use x and y, so we're not changing our variables. So I'm going to say x is my nickels. Oops, I spelled nickels wrong. It's EL. Sorry about that. And y is my, not dimes, my quarters. My hands are cold. Okay, so now we have to think about what these equations are going to equal, okay? So one of my equations is going to equal a total of $1.55, okay? The other equation is going to equal, what do you think? Think about how many coins are in the jar. How many? 11. So my other equation is going to equal 11. So we have our two equations. I'm going to say equals, equals. So I'm going to say 11 because 1 equals 11 and 1 equals $1.55. Okay? Now, I'm going to start with the second equation first, that equals 11, because we know what type of coins we have in the jar. We have nickels and quarters, right? So we know that we have two variables, x and y. So x represents my nickels and y represents my quarters. So I know that x and y together is going to total 11. So what operation am I going to put between x and y? Good, a plus sign, okay? So it's going to be x plus y is equal to 11, all right? So then we have our money. It's going to total $1.55. Now here, I don't know how many nickels and quarters I have. If I said dimes again, I didn't mean to. Nickels and quarters. I don't know how many I have, but I do know how much they're worth. So this one is talking about a total money amount, right? And this one's talking about total coins. Okay? So in the total money amount, I know a nickel is worth 5 cents, so I'm going to say 0.05, but I don't know how many I have, so I'm going to say 0.05 what? X. And then a quarter I know is worth 25 cents, so I'm going to say 0.25, and Y represents my quarter, so I'm going to say Y. Now what am I going to do with these? I'm going to add them together. Okay? So I have my two equations now, right? 0.05x plus 0.25y is equal to $1.55. And then my other equation is x plus y is equal to 11, because my goal is to find out how many of each coin I have. So I want to know how many nickels I have, and I want to know how many quarters I have. Okay? Now, looking at these two equations, which method do you think would be easiest to solve these system of equations? Okay, so I would use substitution as well, okay, if that's what you picked. I'm hoping it is. So I'm going to solve the second equation for one of the variables. Does it matter which one we move? Absolutely not, because they're both going to be super easy to find. My hair looks a mess. Okay, so I'm just going to solve for x and get rid of, I'm solving for y and getting rid of my x. So that'd be y equals negative x plus 11, or you can do 11 plus negative x. I'm sorry, 11 minus x. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute this in place of y. So I've got 0.0, oops, I forgot my 0, 0.05x plus 0.25, I'm doing my parentheses, it'll be negative x plus 11. Okay, so now I'm going to distribute. So, and then this equals $1.55. I'm not going to forget that. So I'm going to bring this down over here, and I'm going to distribute this. So 0.25 times negative x is just going to be minus negative x. I'm going to go ahead and erase this plus sign and make it a minus sign. And then 0.25 times 11 is, let me get my calculator, I don't know what that is 2.75. Okay, and so now I'm going to bring my 155 down. All right, so now I'm going to combine like terms. So I have 0.05 minus 0.25, and that is negative 0.220. Oh my gosh, not right. And bring everything else down. Okay, I'm going to subtract 275. So I've got negative 0.20x equals 155 minus 275 is negative $1.20. Divide both sides by a negative 20, because you can't have a negative amount of coins, so that makes sense that a negative and a negative is going to cancel out. So it will be a positive number. So $1.20 divided by 0.20 is 6. All right, so x is equal to 6. So now all I gotta do is find out my y. Well, remember, x plus y is equal to 11. 6 plus y is equal to 11. Obviously, I know 6 plus 5 is 11. So that means I'm going to have 6 nickels and 5 quarters. If you chose to do another method to solve this, that's fine. This is the method that I would have chosen. All right? All right, so let's go to the next problem. Pause the video, rewind whenever you need to. Let's clear the screen. All right, so this one says Bob and Joe are picking up trash along the highway. Together, they have collected 15 bags of trash. Joe has collected 3 more bags than Bob. All right, how many bags has each collected? So remember, we have 2 variables. So I'm going to say x and y. Okay, so we have 2 people picking up trash, right? So who are the 2 people? So the question is, how many bags has each collected? So when they say this right here, they're talking about each person. So who are the 2 people that I'm talking about here? Bob and Joe. Okay? So the second question says, together, they have collected 15 bags of trash. So what would your equation look like for that sentence right there? Okay, so your equation should look like x plus y is equal to 15. All right, Then the second sentence or the third sentence says Joe has collected 3 more bags than Bob. So Joe, what variable does Joe represent? Remember, he represents y. Okay? So what equation would you write for Joe? So remember, Joe has 3 more bags than Bob. So your equation should be y equals, because y stands for Joe, and we know that Joe is equal to 3 more than Bob. Well, more than I know is the wording for adding. So I don't know how many Bob has collected, but Bob is my x. So I'm going to say x plus 3. Okay? So now on this one, I've got a variable by itself, so I'm actually going to solve this by substitution again. So I'm going to go x plus, I'm going to substitute in place of y, this right here. So I'm going to say x plus 3 equals 15. Okay? So now I'm going to combine like terms. I have x plus x, so that'll be 2x plus 3 is equal to 15. Now I'm going to solve this two-step equation. So I've got subtract 3. So I've got 2x equals 15 minus 3 is 12. Divide by 2. X is equal to 6. Oh, chin tickling. So Bob collected 6 bags. Collected 6 bags. I know that they collected 15 altogether, so I could go, well, 6 plus y is equal to 15. Subtract 6 from both sides. Y is equal to 9. Oh my gosh, my chin is itching. Okay, so then Joe collected, I cannot spell, collected 9 bags. Okay? All right.